Greetings, diners, and welcome to yet another of the Diner 8th anniversary celebration brunches, which I have made many of. And a good number of them are up online on our YouTube channel, but you know, there's a whole lot more on my disc that I never bothered publishing, and they're pretty good too. Some of them, you know, they're not all great. You know, there's some losers in there. You know, you know, you don't get 100% winners when you do these things. Things go wrong, and so forth. Okay, so we're having a full Jew meal, breakfast brunch, which was a regular feature of my years when I was working as a clinical chemist in downtown New York. And I worked a double shift on Saturdays. I got off at 8 a.m. and I rode the subway home, or in certain periods I actually slept in my van for 8 hours, and then I did a second 16-hour shift. And that's how I made about half my living, or a little more than half my living, during that period of my life. And what I would do when I left the hospital was to go to, I was in an area of New York on the Lower East Side where there was a bakery, a Jewish bakery, that made fantastic bagels, okay? Really good bagels. So I would walk my way over to the bagel place and buy bagels. It was on First Avenue, I think. And then I would walk from there over to another place, which was a Jewish deli, which was on 2nd Avenue, I believe, and about 2 blocks south also. But it was kind of on the route from the hospital to the deli, or to the bakery, to the deli, and then to the subway station. You know, and it took me half an hour to actually get myself to the subway, to hopefully catch a train back to Flushing, where I lived when I was in that period of my life, and living in the attic upstairs from my mom. And what I did with those trips was I bought the bagels, and then at the deli I bought lox, or, you know, salmon, Nova Scotia salmon, I prefer. It's a little less salty than Jewish lox, but you know, they're basically the same. It's cured and then smoked, and it's cold smoked, so it's not dried out like you know, much smoked salmon is. And I will demonstrate some of that at some point also. Okay. So at any rate, I picked up all this stuff, and then I got on the subway home, and then I went home and I made breakfast or brunch, somewhere in between, for me and my mom. And you know, we had the bagels and the lox and all fixed up Nova Scotia style, or what do you call it, New York style, which I'll demonstrate that in the photos later, because I'm not done with this yet, right? Okay. So anyhow, how do you make a good chicken liver pate? All right, that's the question here I'm going to answer for you. Sort of. All right? Because there are a zillion recipes for chicken liver pate, and duck liver, and pig liver, and any liver pate that you want to choose. But I happen to like chicken liver pate because it's historical for me. And chicken livers are mild. They're not as intense as, say, beef liver or something like that. And plus you can buy them in small containers, right? Okay? So they're good for, one or two people, or, actually several people at a party or something like that. Okay? So what I got here is my teeny weeny food processor that I bought at a yard sale. And with this, I'm going to make my pate. Alright? Now, I did make a huge supply of pate about a year ago, which has been sitting on the shelf. And that is the pate that's actually going to be used on my bagel today or tomorrow. And there was a very big debate on the diner with my friend Eddie regarding whether I actually knew my biochemistry, how good a biochemist I am, and whether I could make this stuff and can it and keep it for a year on my shelf. No refrigeration, nada. Okay? Not even out on the freezer of the last great frontier. And he didn't think I could do it. He said, you're going to get botulism from this. And, what can I do? I had to prove that I could do it. You see? And, as usual, he's wrong. Well, maybe not. I mean, if I die of botulism in a week, then he was right, and so be it. But I really don't believe that's going to happen. I know what I'm doing, folks. You might not think so, but I do. All right. Anyway, back to making a new batch of chicken liver pate on the small scale instead of the big scale. Okay, I made 6 or 7 containers of stuff the last time. I'm not going to do that again. Too much. I don't know if I'll ever eat all of that liver pate. Maybe before I die. I don't know. But anyway, okay. So what do you need to make liver pate? Well, you need chicken livers or chicken liver pate. So here's the chicken liver, okay? It does not look too appetizing right now. I understand. Yes? Okay? And that was sauteed up on the stove with onions for, I don't know, half an hour, something like that. Okay? So these livers are all cooked. But don't cook your livers too long, because they kind of get bitter if you cook them too long. Yes? Okay? So don't do that. And then I can put just about anything into this besides the liver and onions to make a nice, creamy, smooth pate that you can spread onto your crackers at a party or onto your bagel in the morning to eat. However you want to use it. I mean, there's numerous ways. And it has great protein, it's great iron, very nutritious, and it's cheap. It's fucking cheap. This These guys come in at $2 a pound, sometimes less. Okay, $1.99. All right. It depends if I look for a sale or not. But you know, it's so cheap already. I don't need a sale. I can buy it just at that. And I make so much of it, you know, when I add in all the other stuff, that I can't finish it. You know, well, at least not immediately. It takes a long time. So I keep it. And you can keep it by canning it, and then you don't need refrigeration, or you can freeze it. Okay? And it keeps in any number of ways. So it's a great collapsed food for you. And just really good, and it tastes good. All right? I mean, maybe you don't like liver, or you think you don't like liver. But follow this recipe or other recipes you can find on the net that, you know, are good too. You know, some people spice them up more and put more shit in them than I do, but, you know, the basics are here. And that's what we're going to go through, is the basics. So, for me, in my recipe, besides the liver is cream cheese, okay? And that's Kraft. No, it's Kroger, okay? It's generic. Kroger original cream cheese. And they're not sponsoring me for this broadcast. I did not get this box of cream cheese from Kroger for free. I had to buy it. I think I paid $2.50. And I'm not going to use the whole thing. I mean, you know, I might use a quarter of it, maybe. No, probably not even a fifth. And then some butter, okay? That's butter, yes. Which is generic butter, I think. Sweet cream butter. And I don't know who the fuck makes it. And it's, you know, probably a Kroger or somebody like that. So these are going to go in, the livers are going to go in, and it's all going to go in to this, and I'm going to make up a few batches with this liver pate. And, you know, so, you know, I'll get started on it here, okay, and I'm going to make my hands all messy doing this, and I'll stuff in some livers that I've cooked up, yes, okay. Ugh. Gross. Disgusting. All right. And I gotta do this a little more. One more. So this is about 1/3 of that supply. So I'll probably be able to make about 3 of these blendings with this. That's just gross. Disgusting. Let me get a napkin or something. Shit. You know, if you have, I mean, you can do this without without a blender at all, or a food processor. You know, that's the way old Jewish grandmothers did it. You know, you crush it and chop it with a knife and stuff like that, you know, and it takes a lot longer, of course, to do it that way. And if you're a cripple, then, you know, it takes a shitload longer. So I don't do it that way, okay? And now so I'm going to put some butter in there, okay, as well. Get that unfolded. And can I find a knife here for that? This one should work. Okay. Yeah, this is a guesstimate amount. I don't measure, as I said before. Not part of my cooking. I just wing it. I know more or less the quantities that I need to use of anything, and get the cream cheese open. So it does not, I don't need to measure. But, you know, you might want to measure. And if you do, and you're going to, you know, make your first batch, then, you know, I suggest going to one of the videos online that there are many. And I'm not going to try to open this on camera. Forget that. And put it in. So the cream cheese, some cream cheese is going to go in there. It's probably about double the amount of the butter. And then I'll probably put in some heavy cream as well to smooth it out when I blend. Okay? And I will do some blending on camera just as it is before the cream cheese and the cream goes in. Okay? So you can see that. And first, I'm going to turn the juice on. No electric power. Then no food processing. Yes? There we go. And it's going to chop the living shit out of the liver. And the butter has to get down in there better. Or it's not going to get blended in properly. Okay? Now, at this stage, I could add cream cheese, more liver, and so forth, and so get a bigger supply. But you know, this is just demonstration, right? Okay. And the actual job will get done after I finish the video. Right? And I just gotta go push down again. Do it one more time on camera. Okay. And see, it's too chunky right now for me. It's for, you know, I mean, some people like their liver pates chunky, but I don't. I like it creamy. So other stuff's gonna get added to it to get the creamy texture. Right? Alright, that's it for the on-camera food processing of liver pate for this episode. And I should have it finished and yeah, once I get this guy open, which might take a while. You know, you try opening a foil package like that with one arm. I'll try it. I should have it ready pretty soon. But I'm not using this one, anyhow, for my bagel. My bagel, I'm using a year-old liver pate I already got made. And I'm going to make Eddie eat crow on this. Because he was so wrong. I mean, you can't be more wrong than he was. And, you know, it took me a whole year to prove this. And now I have done it. And so, it's another bucket list task that I have accomplished before I buy my ticket to the great beyond. And that's all the doom. This time, until next time, here on the Cooking Zone, Collapse Cafe, Snapcard Gourmet of the Doomstead Diner. Hasta la bagels. Today. Sometime. Okay? Except I gotta go to the doctor too. So, I don't know when I'll actually eat this. But sometime today. Later.